Hey everybody, I want to talk today about tile showers. Now, this one here that I'm standing in, I can't take credit for. This is my brother who's doing this one, but I'd like to think that I taught him a little bit, but I didn't teach him the OCD. He's got that by himself. So what I want to talk about today, just quick, is this video is kind of just a general overall about tile and tile showers, what makes a difference. I'm going to gear it towards customers for one, but also for contractors. And I'll just kind of run through some details and just so everyone's aware that, you know, what sets our install apart versus other people, making sure that when you hire out a shower, you're basically gonna make your decision A, on price, or B, on quality. And if you're picking out quality, then you want to make sure that you choose a contractor that can A, give you references, and B, even just go and look at some previous work, right? Because for us, and our mentality is, if you're setting tile, it better be done perfectly or as close to, because it's kind of permanent, okay? For the contractors, it's good for you to have some references and photos so that you can attract a higher end clientele who wants a high end finish. Because you're going to ease their mind by being able to say, hey, here's a list of customers to call, here's some close-up photos, I've got levels on the wall to show you how flush everything is, here's the number to my glass guy, phone him, see if I do good work, because the glass guy will tell you for sure. And for the customer, it's important to know what sets certain people apart, right? You can get a price on a shower that's based simply on per square foot, and they get it done. And I'm sorry, I've seen professional tile installers, and me, and especially my brother, who are carpenters, we can do a far better job because we care about what we're putting into the work. And it doesn't even matter if you're a tradesman. As long as you care, you want to do an excellent job, it's something permanent, so you might as well. And okay, so I think that's enough of that. Let's just kind of get to the point. I'll show you some features that are unique and different and things that we keep in mind whenever we're installing. Okay, and that's why I got the list. Okay, number one thing, very, very important, is to pre-plan. So this is not a true barrier-free shower, but it's geared up for people who are getting older and who eventually need maybe some assistance in the shower. Okay, so that's why it's so big. We've kept the curb down low. We need to pre-plan everything, so we're gonna put a grab bar in here. You know, the drain is right here, so we had to pre-plan, okay, what does the customer want for a bench, where, how big? That sets where the drain goes. What kind of faucets do you want? Oh, we want a shower head, and we want a pull down style that we can wash and rinse everything off with, right? So you got to pre-plan all your plumbing. Some of this wall, like this house has an addition on it, so some of it had to actually get ripped off because they just drywalled on top of basically old crusty shiplap. So some of the walls are way too bowed to actually tile to, so that's part of the pre-planning. And just the shelf locations. What are we going to do around the window? What's our tile layout going to be so that I don't have like a 1-inch little nugget, we call it, right? You got to avoid all that. Things like this, if you can see it close enough, how this schlutes, I call it schlutes, it's Schluter, how the schlutes just runs down flush with the curb, right? Just all the little details. It's not like, hey, I got to get this done, I need to hammer it out, and then all of a sudden the forethought goes to the side, and then you start coming to a situation, start scratching your head like, oh geez, what did I do, right? So let's see, I got plumbing, I got the shelves, grab bars. Now the other thing my brother pre-planned quite well is the glass. He has, so on the inside he has a grab bar on the inside, and then the door he has a grab bar inside and out. He's actually even got a toilet paper holder in the glass on the stationary side, and then strong enough to withstand all that and all the forethought that goes with that, okay? So I mentioned already that this is a Schluter tile system and the walls are fully kerdi matte. It's the only system we use. I wouldn't even think about using anything else. They're kind of tried and true, so you know, why try to muck around with that? One thing we do, so you know, after all that, we set the base. We do it all according to what Schluter says and what materials to use, and then we kerdi that. We also blend everything out so that your mosaic on your floor isn't humpy and lumpy. By the time you start overlapping all your kerdi, we just go around after and blend it all out with some, whatever mortar you have left in your pail. Just blend everything out so you have a nice slope and no funky check-ins. Then we set the tile, and then what's really nice is if you epoxy grout it. And epoxy grout it before you start any wall tile. That way, epoxy grout is great for no staining and soap suds and all that. Plus, when you do it before you tile the walls, then you get a real nice seal. The grout is right as tight to the wall as possible. Then you stack your tile on that, and you just kind of eliminate future problems. Not that there ever would be, it's just that little extra step of insurance. So this window detail is kind of a decision between the customer and the installer. You know, my brother wanted to do kind of a little bit of a casing sort of look, but he went to the extra step. Instead of just quickly throwing on some wood that's going to rot later, what he did is he carefully dug out all the loose bad insulation. He spray foamed it up nice carefully. Then what he did is he filled any other gap with mortar. Then as the kerdi went up, carefully used the kerdi, and then he used kerdi fix to bond it to the PVC. Then you can see that he did the Schluter, and it's all mitered, perfectly flush. Okay, so that's a detail. So one huge pet peeve of ours is how you install the Schluter. And this is whether it's on a shower or a backsplash or anything. And I make sure that whoever's doing backsplashes for me on my crew, I show them how we like to do it. And if you guys want, let me know. I'll shoot a video on that too at some point. But look at how nice this Schluter is. There's no mastic sticking out, there's no mortar, there's no gaps, there's no filling later, there's nothing. What you see is a pre-painted wall so that you can actually put the Schluter up nice and flush, and then it's done. There's no touch-ups, you didn't gouge the wall, there's no mortar to try to clean up, and no gaps to deal with. So, and if you look over here too, right? I've so many places I go to and it's just gouged all up. Well, who takes care of that? Well, it's not the tile guy. Like, you know, it's just one of those little steps. Okay, Mosaic. So for customers and for contractors, this is a step, and it all depends on how you look at it, but all this Mosaic is an added cost. Not because of the material cost, that's kind of minor. It's mostly labor that goes into something like this. And it's because Mosaic is typically thinner material than the tile. Especially when you put larger tiles on like that, you need thicker mortar. That builds it out. You can't put thick mortar on Mosaic and build it out because it'll just squish through all the grout lines and you'll have a heck of a mess. So what my brother does is part of the pre-planning, make sure everything's nice and straight and flat. But also double checking. So as he does all his layouts and he does level lines everywhere, is that he'll lay his tiles here and here. Then he'll double check. He'll dry fit his Mosaic in there and figure out where he needs to build up. So I know on this job he had to build it up with Ditra, fill those up, and then double check again. Make sure that, okay, these couple areas are low. Then we add a layer or two of kerdi and make sure, blend everything out, that it's, at the end of the day, after you put the Mosaic on, it's deadly flush. Contractors, here's a nice tip for you, and I know it might seem elementary, but this curb here has to slope towards the shower. You would not believe, and we debate and talk with our glass guy all the time, and he says you would not believe how many guys slope it to the outside. And then at that point he's like, I will not install the glass. I just won't, because then all of a sudden it's going to come on me. Hey, there's water pooling or my shower leaks, and they blame it on the glass guy, and it's no. It has to go in towards the shower so that water hits the glass and runs down. I know it seems simple, but do it right. Okay, So the tip here is, my brother likes to use a 125 Schlutz on the outside and a 100 on the inside, and that creates that slope. And then he just builds this side up with mortar so it's deadly flush. But amongst all that is making sure that from the far left to the far right is level. No waviness. But if you follow your Schlutz and everything's deadly, you shouldn't have a problem. But always double check. And that will ensure that when you do put the glass down, that all the seals hit properly and evenly. The seals aren't like tight, loose, tight, loose, tight, loose, right? Just more water issues. I want to show you a few photos that I've taken around the shower of just putting a level on everything and proving that I'm not full of it. And I'm talking about, like for example, when you look down an open wall like this, if you're not paying attention, you're going to have a bow in the wall. Because A, you're going to have drywall mud on the inside corner. You're going to have a corner bead here with drywall mud. Doesn't matter if you're the best taper in the universe, it creates a wow. So put and plan that out as you go, level all the way up. So here's a few photos of around the shower just to show you. With having everything straight, and you notice how flush the mosaic is with the tile, and how straight everything is, then it's easier for your glass guy. He's not trying to cut weird angles and things that are out of level. It's a lot easier if everything's just straight, square, and flush, right? And back to the gasket thing idea again, is if it's all consistent, it fits better, your gaskets work better, less leaking. Another thing I want to point on is just brick pattern in general. And that's the simple way that I call it, is just a brick pattern. Now, a lot of guys, this is their way of being able to speed up the process and kind of cut on the quality, because they can get away with certain things because a brick pattern is kind of hard to follow grout lines. But if you just take a level all the way up, you'll be able to tell right away if they've done a good job or not. And you may or may not be able to tell, but everywhere my brother he has pencil lines everywhere. And that's just to double check that from this grout line to this one is level or in line, right? Everything's done that way. The bench seat, you know, we had to wait a couple days for this nice little outside corner Schluter piece to come in. But why would we, A, it's easier and faster to install, and B, we risk a sharp corner there that the last thing you want is to be naked and to catch something sharp, if you know what I'm saying. But, you know, just again, all the detail to keeping this mosaic nice and flush. The planning, no nuggets anywhere. Obviously with a brick pattern, it's hard to get rid of all the small pieces. Yeah, the bench seat is sloped, the shelves are sloped. Actually, here's another tip. This is also a Schluter piece. It's kind of a T-mold, and we just do a tile upside, like one on here, one here, mortar them together, make it so it's the thickness, so it's flush there. It's a cheap, easy, fast shelf, but it looks great. Yeah, so the devil's in the details, and this is what the steps that I've shown here are what makes us different, and what sets, you know, looking strictly at the dollar figure and the quote versus the quality. And there's a huge spread there. The last thing you want to regret is having someone in your place and not doing a good enough job, and we don't even want to go there, all the BS involved with that. Do a good job, do the detail work, and hopefully you have something that looks as nice. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel or check us out on some of the following.